Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel and to my best of 2017 video. This is my holy grail. This shit is my ride or die. It took me a while to really go through all of my makeup and compile this not so small accumulation of makeup because, you know, if you watch my monthly favorites, when we get a new product, they're easily our favorite for a while, and then the newness wears off, and you go back. You go back to that ride or die, right? It's that one foundation that has standed the test of time. So those are the products I want to talk today. What are the ones that I always go back to no matter how old they get? Or what are the ones that I always make sure when I travel for work, they are in my suitcase, no matter what, right? Those are what I would call the staples in a ride or die tag or holy grail tag or best of tag. Then I had another dilemma. I went through my makeup. I got all my ride or die shit together. All of it. And then I sat here on the floor with my cruelty-free list and my list of does test on animals, and I separated them out. So what you're going to get today is all cruelty-free brands that are in my ride or die basket. I'm going to do a makeup, a skincare, a hair care, and then I'm going to do a holy grail, but they're not cruelty free. So that video will be the video that lets you know the products I'm on the hunt for a cruelty free dupe. So every product in today's holy grail ride or die best of 2017 is cruelty free. So if you want to see what my a bitch can't live without makeup is, just keep watching. It's gonna be hard to go through all this. Like, there's a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some categories that I could not choose just one. Like, I just think that's too much pressure on a bitch. All right, so for primer, I love a good primer. Love a good primer. And these two primers, cruelty-free or not, but they are cruelty-free, these are the ones that I went to the most in 2017. And when I tell you, I am a primer addict. I counted my primers when I was going through this, and I literally have 16 different primers, from a Marc Jacobs primer down to a NYX primer. And these two, out of all those price ranges, all those brands, these were the two I really went to the most. And they're both from NYX. So the first one is the Angel Veil. Now, I use the Angel Veil when my skin is a little oily, or I'm using a foundation that isn't quite as matte and it'll slip around a little bit. I want a primer that's going to lock it in. So that is when I pull for my Angel Veil. The second primer is my NYX Born to Glow. This primer does not blur anything. Like, if you got wrinkles, your wrinkles still going to be there after this primer. But it just gives your face a healthy glow. So foundations like the new Jouer that I've been using, foundations that make me look way too matte or are very, you know, I want a good illuminating base for those. So those are my two ride or die primers. For foundations, y'all, I couldn't pick just one foundation. So we're going to start with the drugstore one. That is the Milani Conceal or Perfect. Y'all, this is, I was so happy when I discovered it was cruelty free because I've used this foundation longer than any other foundation I have ever used. I've used this probably for maybe a year and a half. I can't remember when it came out, but I've used it for a very, very long time. And it's just reliable. It gives me coverage. It gives me flawless skin. I would say the only downside to this one is it's not long wearing. So I don't use it when I need a foundation that's just going to stand the test of the day. But when I want a beautiful finish, flawless finish, I always pull from my Milani. Okay, I have two different high-end foundations that I loved this year. The first one is the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel. This, if you like a natural finish, if you want a little bit of coverage, but you don't want to look cake face, you don't want to look overly matte, you don't want to look like you're wearing a lot of foundation, the Genius Gel is the foundation for you. So on those days when I want to look as natural as possible, and those of you who know me know I don't really go all too natural, but when I just want to look like I have pretty healthy skin, this is the one I pull for. It just melts into your skin in such a way that you don't look like you have a lot of foundation. And it is on sale at Sephora now. And Marc Jacobs is cruelty-free. This one is probably, I'll be honest with you, my number one foundation of all time, ride or die. It's laying over there in the we test on animals pile. Bitch. But this is my second. This I don't grab for this as much as I do the others, oddly enough. But when I do, I always have this gorgeous, beautiful foundation day. So I find that when I travel, this is the one. This is the girl that I take with me. So this is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. The coverage is great. It's not cakey. It lasts all blessed day. It is truly a beautiful, beautiful foundation. So I picked three. I know. It's supposed to be your holy grail, your numero uno. That was hard for me for foundation because I'm a foundation junkie. Okay, I only got one concealer. That is the Tarte Shape Tape. Nothing outperforms Tarte Shape Tape. Period. It does not crease on me. It does not look dry under my eyes. It gives you the most amazing coverage. And this shit lasts all day. Like, I don't know how it's so perfect, but it's perfect. And Tarte's cruelty-free. And it's expensive, but you get so much product. It lasts. Did I say it was perfect? It's perfect. I just don't try other concealers. If Tarte had not been cruelty-free, but it is. Okay, setting powders. Setting powders, Too Faced just won the Golden Globe this year on setting powders. So I have two, and they're both from Too Faced. I have the Ethereal Born This Way, and I have the Peach Perfect. And I gotta tell you, I love them both. If I had to choose one, I don't know that I can. If I had to choose one, I think I would go with Peach Perfect. Only because it doesn't give me an overly powdery look. And the ethereal setting powder sometimes can. But when I set that with a little setting powder, it goes away. But this one just gives you almost filtered, like you have a good Snapchat filter on your face. And it smells like peaches. But these two, If I only had to choose one, I don't know which one I would choose, but I would be happy with either. They're both truly, truly amazing. Okay, after we set our face, we go in with a contour. I don't have a contour because all of my contours are not cruelty-free, which poses a problem in my life because, you know, a girl needs some cheekbones. So, there's that. I'm gonna need a moment. Okay, so I do have one bronzer. I cannot believe in all of my makeup, and y'all, a bitch has got some makeup. Like, my collection is ridiculous. And in all of my makeup, I only had one bronzer that was not cruelty-free. Now, luck would have it, it is currently my favorite bronzer. It would have been in the Holy Grail had I had 30 to choose from. It is the most incredible bronzer I have ever used. I can't, it gives this sheen. It is natural on the skin. I think you could go overboard and accidentally apply too much and it wouldn't matter. Like, it just blends so beautifully. It is gorgeous. And it is the Hourglass Diffused Bronze Light. I have just been, see, you can't even see it. You can't even see it. So I would say but the way the Hourglass bronzers work is, there's different color ranges. So I picked the lightest one. So this wouldn't work if you're the least bit darker than me. It would not work on you. But just go up to the next one or the next one after that. Hourglass, you're going to see a lot of Hourglass stuff in here. And these are all minis that I own because these minis cost $22. Yeah, this little bitty teeny tiny. How many ounces is in here? 0.04. Cost $22. So all I've been buying are the minis. But you know what? Hourglass, I think it's time that I make this official. I'm about to put a ring on it. We're about to go up to the $50 full size because it's a beautiful bronzer. I love it. I don't use any other bronzers anyway. So you bronzers that test on animals, you can kiss my ass anyway. But Hourglass is perfection. I cannot say enough. Okay, so blushes. I have a couple of blushes in here. I think I have 4. The first one I can't open for you because it's broke. But it's the Laura Geller Pink Grapefruit. I just love this when I want a beautiful flushed look. When I want to look like, you know, I just ran a couple miles outside and I came in and I'm all glowy from my run. I pull for the Laura Geller Pink Grapefruit. And it has a sheen to it. It's not a matte blush, which I tend to go for. The other ride or die blush, and probably the one I use the second most, is the Tarte. It's called Concept. I don't even know what I would call this color. It's kind of a nude peach, I guess. But for me, it's literally the perfect color. If I could only choose one blush, it might be this one. I don't know. But truly a gorgeous blush, and I will not be without this blush. I got 2 more blushes. I know, I just couldn't pick. And they're both by Hourglass. This one is called Mood Exposure, and this one is Diffused Heat. The Mood Exposure is actually what I'm wearing today. These powders, this is the Mood Exposure, this is the Diffused Heat. The Hourglass powders have these beautiful colors, and yet at the same time this sheen. It's not glittery, it's not sparkly, it's literally a glow from within sheen that looks incredibly natural, and the colors look natural. You don't really look like you got blush on, you just look like you have a flush. And I will own every color of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush. They are amazing. Alright, now we got to highlight our face. I got a few highlighters. I could not choose. So, okay, so Ride or Die drugstore highlighters are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powders, and I like both of these colors. So this is Precious Petals, and this is Golden Flower Crown. This one pulls a little bit more of a rosy gold. I wouldn't say rose gold exactly, but it's more of a pinky gold. This one is just a straight up, the Golden Flower is just a straight up gold. But they both look, they're not glittery. They're more of a sheen, but they look beautiful on the skin. So if I want a drugstore highlighter, Wet n Wild's the way to go, and Wet n Wild is not cruelty free. I mean, Wet n Wild is cruelty free. Now, when I want a highlighter that, when you're looking me dead on, it's just a natural glow, but when I turn and my face catches the light, it is just a beautiful jade. That is the Becca Opal Pulling Jade. It's called their Light Chaser Highlight. This truly is the most unique highlighter in my collection. So many makeup companies use the term duochrome without, I think, understanding what duochrome means. This is duochrome. When I'm looking at you dead on, you can't tell I have highlighter. And then I turn and it's like, boom! It is my favorite when I want to make a statement. Alright, so next we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. This one probably gets used the most in my collection. I know the blues and the purples are a little scary, but what I do is I mix all the colors, and I almost always mix them with this white. This is so if I want natural, I go for Wet n Wild. When I want to make a statement, I go for the Becca. When I want the aliens need to see me from outer space, I go for this one. It's not glittery. It is just boom, highlight. And their formulas are super soft and creamy and very easy to work with. Now, when I want to go all out banging, right? When I'm like, give me the glitter, give me the sheen, give it to me, daddy, I go for the Metal Crush. And I've heard so many people complain about this because of the glitter, but it's Metal Crush. It's Kat Von D. I mean, did you expect it to be neutral and natural? I don't get that. Yes, there's a ton of highlighter. Yes, It can be a little chunky, but it's beautiful, beautiful. Today on my cheeks, I don't really know if you can see the highlighter on my camera, but I actually mixed all three. I went a little heavy with the Helix, and then probably the next heaviest I went with Gamma Ray, and then Rose Shock. I just did a boop, and I'm telling you, if you want a chunky highlighter, if you're not afraid about that glow though, with a little glitter on top, I love this highlighter. Love it. Okay, I skipped a few products. So this is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Concealer. I put just a little bit of this under my concealer. It's a color corrector. It brightens. I think it also helps lock in that concealer. So this is a ride or die, holy grail, can't live without product. And for setting my under eyes, I use the Laura Mercier, what's this called? Secret Brightening Powder. It's a finely milled white with a little bit of sheen. This is what I use underneath my eyes, and it's beautiful. I like real bright under eyes. Okay, to finish that off, so once I've put on my contour, my bronzer, my setting powder, I dust everything off before the blush, and I go in with the Luminous Light by Hourglass, and I just lightly dust this over my entire face, then put my blush and highlighter on. And it just gives my entire face a little bit of a healthy glow. It doesn't add a lot of extra powder on. I go in with a very soft, fine stippling brush. So I just put enough on that it gives a glow, it gives a sheen. And then when I miss this step, when I forget this step, I can always tell my skin looks dehydrated or it doesn't look as healthy. This just gives your overall skin a very healthy glow. All right, now we need to do our eyes. So I have two eyeshadow palettes that are my holy grails. This one, this is an oldie. This is an oldie, but it's a goodie. It is the Peach Perfect. Oh, I got hair caught in it. Look at that, y'all. Ooh. The Peach Perfect by Too Faced. It's what I'm wearing today. This has been my ride or die for probably 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I've used this consistently for nearly a year now. I love it. I travel with it. I've never had a bad makeup look with it. If you watch my anti-haul video, I talk about eyeshadow palettes needing to come up with some different colors. Just give us a little something different. And I think Too Faced was successful at that. We got a little green, we got a little peach, a little pink, a little yellow, but we still got the browns and the purples. I think this is just a good variety of color, and it blends beautifully. If I told you to go buy, if you said, Autumn, I can only buy one makeup palette or one eyeshadow palette, what should I choose? I would direct you to this one every single time. Hands down, best palette I've ever owned. A very close runner-up, and probably my second most used palette this year, was the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I have choices. I have options. If I want to go for a poppin' blue eye, I can. If I want to go for a brown reddish color, I can. If I want shimmer, I can shimmer. If I want all mattes, I can do all mattes. This really, you can accomplish pretty much any look that you want with this one single go-to palette. And as you guys know, I love Morphe. They are cruelty-free. Yay! But I just think this is the biggest bang for your buck. And if you only own this eyeshadow palette, you probably wouldn't need to own another one. It's just that versatile. Okay, Now let's set our makeup. I have two makeup setters. The first one is Ofra Makeup Fixer. I love this. Like, when I tell you I love this setting spray, my makeup, it ain't going anywhere. It is affordable. You get 8 ounces compared to how much in the usual bottle. I soak my face in this setting spray, and when I tell you my look is not touched up for 10 hours. It is perfect. It is amazing. It is affordable. You get a lot in the bottle. It is cruelty free. It is available at Ulta. Get you some. The next setting spray is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. You gotta shake it. If you don't shake it, you'll get a face full of glitter. So yes, there is. I've heard a lot of complaints. That ain't nothing but glitter. Yes, there's a little glitter. So if you're afraid of a little glitter, move on. But it's not a tacky glitter. It's not a glitter that's going to make you walk around like you've just jumped in a pile of, you know, some 6-year-old's art kit. It is such a subtle amount of glitter that your face literally just looks like, and did you see that mist? I mean, it is literally like baby kisses. I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but you don't see the glitter. You see the healthy, the illumination, the sheen. It is perfection. And Cover FX, you killed it. You nailed it. I will forever use this setting spray. All right, we're getting to the end, y'all. Okay, my Holy Grail brow pencil, Anastasia Beverly Hills Perfect Brow Pencil in medium brown. It's just a brow pencil, but it is the world's most perfect brow pencil, and it is cruelty free. Thank God. As you saw my cruelty free video, I now use the Make Me. Hey beauties! I hope you are having a wonderful almost end of 2017. That was corny. Fake as hell. Okay. Hi beauties! Welcome to my channel. Oh my God. Ooh.